All right, finally round three. So as you can see, that this was not a great week for me. Minus 39, I haven't seen that kind of number in a long time. I actually haven't gone 0-3 in almost a year, honestly. But no Nihilus, so this is going to be the case for a few more weeks. I just got into Cosmic. I'm almost through the first node, but I'm pretty far from Global actually. They gave us skill again in the Strike Pass, so we'll see how soon I can get into there. But yeah, 0-3, it's fine. A good opportunity to try things normally I'd be too afraid of doing. So when you're not afraid of losing, you can do some more experimental stuff. So yeah, let's see how round three went. All right, so stage one. I immediately lost this round when I sacked. So it didn't really matter what I tried after this because he one-shot everything I had. I lost just by sacking because Annihilus is here. Now there is a counter that I've seen that can work here. It looked a little iffy, but I think I have a way of making it safer, and if this comp pops up again, which I'm pretty sure it will, I think this is going to be very standard moving forward. I'll try it again there. But otherwise, I just decided to play it a little bit safer here, and I did the Immortal X-Men sack. Also, just a little tip, you don't need Storm for this sack because you can just put Beast in and save Storm like you can see I did here. Jean has no requirement of Storm being with her to do this, it just needs to be a full team, and since we have a member spare, you can do this. Otherwise, I did this hit in, I can't remember, round 1 or round 2, but I had Havoc instead of Blade. I just wanted to see if Blade worked just as well. And Blade, I just love him. His abilities are great. Let's see. So yeah, he does a bunch of piercing damage on all targets. He reduces speed bar on all targets. He does a 20% life steal, which will always be relevant. So if you can afford Blade in a comp, you'll always just hit very hard by virtue of just taking away 20% health. And then he also does like clear immunity, apply disrupted, blind, and it's unavoidable, ignores defense up, can't be blocked. It's a great ability, plays a great character. I hope he stays around forever. So otherwise, you always stun clips. And then Executioner, so I targeted Thrasher here because I know this guy's going to die no matter what. And then Thrasher's kind of my next biggest threat in my mind. So I just target him for the ISO hit because I made this guy a striker just for this attack. So boop, boop. You can see a bunch of damage, so down to half health. Jeff goes, now the positive buff portion of the pull-in can get blocked. So that's why you see like some people lost safeguard, some people kept their defense up. This guy just decided to keep everything. And then Blade does his ultimate and does a bunch of damage, does a bunch of bad things. Somehow this guy just resisted the disrupt and the blind, which is kind of funny. So yeah, I guess Blade will eventually get stat checked in some cases. But this guy got the blind and disrupt, so that's fine. Now Daredevil goes, but he's just basicing because he has no abilities left. And Speedball is a basic, but he's blinded because of Blade. And then I get to go special. I get to go back to back. Boop. And that's it. So stage 2, this is basically an efficiency sync hybrid. You see a lot of these. Usually it's like Mephisto, Sus, Thanos, sometimes Leader, Gladiator, Gore. It's just usually Annihilators and a couple of Mythics because it's just a good way to drain efficiency. As you can see, some attacks do drain efficiency. This is not what I was originally going to use. You'll see later where I had to pivot. Obviously this got it done, but it wasn't as efficient as it could have been. 61 is not the worst, but it's also not the best. So just take a quick one here. This is kind of why I like having Null on offense, because you can take care of Mephisto comps basically with, not scraps, but you don't need a great team to be able to kill this effectively. So you let Mephisto go, okay, he hits into Gladiator, nobody really cares. Then he goes again, and that's why Thanos here is next to him so that he can get procced sooner. Now my Gore goes because he's got extra speed from Null. Boop. Now Null, I went with the special here because just getting the minion out tends to be better than doing the ultimate, because you'll just get around to the ultimate a lot faster. Here I just did another ultimate, so I mean I know I'm on the verge of pushing Thanos, but there's not much I can do about that unfortunately because I didn't really bring anything to get past the taunt other than my own Thanos, but honestly I don't need it. Here I did just basic Gladiator because I could have stunned this guy. Does this apply trauma? I forget. I can't see because the UI is borked. Anyway, I just decided to save the special and then just go all in on Thanos to try and kill him. But you can see there my Carnage is proccing his turn bar. Then his Gorgos does a surprising amount of damage actually. I did not expect him to hurt as hard as he did. I actually don't know why he hit so hard. Oh, now it's working. He's only 3. Is that right? Oh no. Okay, he is 5 diamonds. So yeah, that's why it hurts. So yeah, he kind of almost killed my guy. But at this point, honestly, the fight is over because my null goes, and they've kind of just run out of steam at this point. There's nothing else they're gonna do to me, and I got a lot of turn meter from that. So Carnage goes. I think I get more turn meter. Oh, not yet, but Gladiator special kills a bunch of people. Annoying little stealth, but again, like this Mephisto, even if he somehow got to his ultimate, it would drain efficiency obviously, but I'm never going to lose this fight. So this type of comp on the other side is always just an efficiency drain in some shape or form, unless you can overkill it like I was planning to and then had to pivot. So you'll see in a sec what happened. So stage 3, I overkilled this room. This is probably, so I did drop, I dropped 2 fights, one was a sack and one is in the next room. I think I had other options here that I could have pursued, but I kind of honed in on one counter here, and then I wanted to experiment in other rooms, and unfortunately the experiment did not work. So, you know, obviously hindsight 2020, I could have done something else in this room to bulletproof another attack. But I was a bit stubborn, and since, again, I kind of assume I've lost these, I'm just going to try and find the limits of certain comps. So anyway, for this one, so this is, I say it's overkill. It's a bit of a weird one. So generally, when there's an unprotected blue Marvel, a Mephisto will just blow him up. Obviously, Null is here though, so you can't like do your empowered basic and kill him instantly. So instead, what I did was I just brought Iron Patriot to boost damage, Guardian to get offense up, Sentry as a skirmisher to do the combo, and then Professor X. I kind of didn't need him, but he was my safety because when I was testing this out, even if I kill this guy and can kind of control everyone else, Null can still just wipe the floor with you if you're not careful. And I didn't really have any other strong plug-and-play characters, so I figured I'll just bring Professor X. He will make sure nothing could possibly go wrong. Even if somehow I don't manage to kill Blue Marvel, he will rebalance me, so he was kind of my safety. So yeah, the idea is kill Blue Marvel as fast as possible. So I get my speed stat, even though I can't empower. So I get special, mind control, assist, and then an ISO. A smaller one would have just died there straight up. Then I do another basic, and he's just dead, so Blue Marvel's gone. Also, Professor X is good because these two don't do any of their bullshit. Because they can still chip away at you and do bad things. Like, part of why Null can run you over is because even if you kill Blue Marvel in those 2 turns, now Hank goes and he does a bunch of stuff, then Captain Britain stuns someone, and if it's a bad target, you're in trouble. Anyway, but I broke Professor X, so then I do the Sentry special on Null to ability block him and blind him. He hits into nothing because of that blind. And again, this is room 3, so Sentry is always my safety in case something goes wrong. But here I did actually need him also for the Striker Skirmisher combo, and that's it. So pretty efficient, but considering what was on the other side, very expensive. Like, it's a Blue Marvel, a Null, and then a bunch of alt stat characters, and I blew 2 Mythics plus Sentry. So, again, I thought I could get away with this, but you're about to find out what went wrong. I lied. You're not about to find out what went wrong. It's in stage 5, so sorry about that. But anyway, this one is kind of fun as well. Pretty efficient, I'd say, considering what I brought here to kill what is 5 diamond, 5 diamond, 4 diamond, 4 diamond. Okay, this guy's 3 diamond, but 219. Yeah, I mean, Illuminati can still do some fun stuff. Old Man Logan and Songbird were just here to bolster this trio, but you know, I get speed up, they don't get speed up, and I get to do a bunch of really bad things to them before they even take a turn. Actually, I don't even remember if they did take a turn. But you have so much control, and they're so unprotected that you just get to run circles around them. So I consider this a win in terms of budget counters for what is primarily a new stat team. Obviously, if Scorpion wasn't here and it was something else spicier, then maybe not, but you still do this special here from Shuri, even though it doesn't do anything just for the energy, because now Hank can go, and his ultimate flips all those immunities and disrupts, trauma, slow offense down. So that's one of the big reasons why they never really take a turn, is because you slow them really early on. I'm afraid of Hobgoblins, so I just never want him taking a turn. So we do the special. Also, I see a lot of people doing the Captain Britain ultimate. I don't know why you would ever do that over the special, because the special just always does more damage, and from a buff perspective they basically do the same thing. So if you're doing the ultimate, I think it's better single target damage, but when it chains back and forth you do damage to multiple people, and I don't know, I just think the special is always better than the ultimate. Next person I'm worried about is Vulture. So I use the ultimate. I could have specialed to rewind, but honestly I didn't think I needed it. Because I know my entire team is just gonna run around them. Then I stun Superior Spider-Man, which was just in time because this guy was gonna take a turn. Okay, so Vulture did take a turn, but he didn't even get through the barrier. So then Black Panther, Shuri goes, does a bunch of good things, ability blocks. Even if these people take a turn at this point, they're just not gonna do anything. I'm still focused on the Scorpion just because he's, I think, also 5 diamond, and I don't know, I'm just playing it safe. Boop. Lots of... Oh yeah, and Old Man Logan is a skirmisher here. Everyone else is a striker other than Songbird, even though I could have done her as well, just to get a bunch of Old Man Logan assists basically onto everyone. Yep, here I do the Captain Britain ultimate. Yeah, see all those assists there, and they're just starting to fall over because of the bleeds, and I think this ends... Oh no, there's 2 more turns. Ta-da! And one more basic with an assist gets it, apparently. There we go. So yeah, 2019, I'd say pretty okay score, considering this is 1, 2, 3, well, sorry, 4 old stat characters, but Old Man Logan is awesome. So, you know, if you're on a budget and you got these guys available, might as well. Alright, stage 5. Now we're going to see what went wrong. So, I think I mentioned this before, and I generally don't like Daemon comps, mostly because a lot of it depends on the size of your Daemon, the size of your Yo-Yo, the size of the other team, and there's all these like health thresholds to try and figure out. So I generally don't like to do this. This one I sort of expected to fail, but I wanted to test the limits because I only had APOC available because I used Iron Patriot here. So that's why I was saying I could have just done something else here and saved Iron Patriot and just made this one super safe, but I was actually curious to see is this enough to get a double tap or not. Turns out it's not, as you can very clearly see. I brought Shadow King just because I needed filler, and I figured, well, maybe the ultimate will do something, or if he survives, then an ability block, you know, is also fine. And actually, this comp could have still worked if I had made one change, and you're gonna see what it is in a sec. So, you know, as with any Daemon comp, you're just hoping that you just blow them up in one turn right after Yo-Yo goes. So, Yo-Yo goes, does not hit Warlock, which I think, let's see, I think he might be 2 diamond. Oh no, he's 3 diamonds. Okay, so, because there was a 2 diamond person on the other side, I thought. Okay, they're all 3 diamond. So anyway, it did not hit Warlock, which kind of sucks. But I assumed I would just reset off of Squirrel Girl. However, I mean, you already know. Boop. Barely didn't do it. And now she also gives them a bunch of turn meter, and then she dies. So that's unfortunate. So Shadow King did what he was meant to do, but she also did what she was meant to do before she died, gave them a bunch of stuff, and then fell over. So if my Daemon was 5 diamond, or if my Yo-Yo was G21, this would have been a reset. So now I know I cannot Daemon one of these comps without at least Iron Patriot as well. Now they get to take a bunch of turns, so you're instantly in trouble. And also one key thing here to call out is that because of, I forget who does it, one of these, either Warlock or Wolfsbane, or maybe Cannibal, prevents supports from spawning with immunity. And APOC is actually a support character, which means he gets an offense down and a blind. Now the blind is not a problem, but the offense down is going to be a problem very soon. So I'm stuck on the taunt. Special's unavoidable though, so we can still do that, which is good. Now, as always, to survive, you have to ability block this guy. And unfortunately, he has defense up. I have offense down. He's a new state character. He's an old state character. I get resist checked here. So he resists the ability block, so I instantly lose. If he hadn't done that, maybe I could have done something. Honestly, it may not have mattered. Because I still take a beating, and my Daemon is blinded, and he's basically not going to do anything. But yeah, I 100% lost the minute Warlock got his ability block resisted. I mean, at this point, I'm just slowly dying. So magic does her thing. Yeah, so realistically, I don't know that the ability block would have mattered too much, but it just makes me sad to get a resist check like that. I could have made a puck up skirmisher if I'd thought of it. I honestly didn't. But yeah, either way, I've learned that my Daemon and Yo-Yo cannot one-tap one of these without at least one more damage mod. So even though this lost, I know what the limits are for next time. And then for the cleanup, because I'd basically left all the new mutants alive, I was going to use Blastar and Thunderstrike over here instead, which is why this is a subpar comp. So I was going to use Thunderstrike Blastar to just kind of blow them all up. But then I figured I kind of needed to clean up with something chunky because they still had a bunch of abilities up and all that stuff. So I played it safe and just did this for cleanup. They've used a bunch of abilities, so it's not the end of the world, but I also could have cleaned up with Immortal X-Men here if I hadn't used them as a sack. So, you know, the fact that I had to use that I had to use an Immortal X-Men sack also meant I had to use a very expensive cleanup here because I didn't have Immortal X-Men to just bulletproof this. So anyway, yeah, Cannonball has a basic left. Quasar just does his special because why not? Then Gwenpool does her special. Blastar does his special. I mean, at this point, I'm just peppering out damage. And then Thunderstrike special, as always, obliterates whatever you target. So, I mean, fight's over at this point. So this cleanup was overkill, but I also wanted to play it safe. I didn't know if my opponent would drop anything, because you never know. Obviously, moot because I'd already lost when I sacked, but this is why I had a slightly dirtier room 2. Finally, round 6, or stage 6. This is kind of the comp I tend to always use in this room, except this time instead of Mephisto, because I used him in the other room, I brought in Odin. Figured I'm curious to see if this works. He's also not getting 100% extra stats, so I was kind of wondering, like, will this 5 diamond G20 Songbird one-shot him? I don't know. Let's find out. Obviously she didn't, because you can see he's still alive. But actually this was a lot cleaner than I expected it to be. But it's mostly because of the Odin special, because it just buffs the shit out of my team. So, and also there's no Nova here, which always makes this room 6 a little softer. So as usual, I do the basic, because I don't want to proc this Hyperion yet. Plus, the special is a little bit of a waste, but I want to just get an assist in this case. And then Songbird goes, and she takes my 4 diamond Fortifier Odin to half-ish health. That probably means I could have left him as a raider, and he would probably still be alive, no problem. Here I lost the coin flip with Lady Bullseye, but that's fine, because Shaw's not going to die, Moon Girl's not going to die. And now I special with Odin, and because I got the assist off of Superior Spider-Man, Now I get the battlefield effect up. This is also the reason why I did not do an Insidious Superior 6 mirror versus his with just adding one extra member. It's because I wanted Superior Spider-Man for this comp because he's the only way that I can give myself immunity on spawn based on what I have left over, and that's pretty important for surviving this initial barrage from like big tanky or not big tanky characters, but 5 diamond Songbird, 5 diamond Lady Bullseye, and all that stuff. So anyway, then I just do this special to give myself a bunch of barrier. And at this point, I've procced his Hyperion, so they're just going to take a bunch of turns. But I figured, with Odin, that's not a bad thing. My team has a bunch of buffs. They just need to survive a bit, and Odin is just going to be swiping away because they're just going to take a bunch of back-to-back turns. So as you can see, them taking a bunch of turns is not the end of the world right now. It did eat Iron Fist's charges, so now we get to do damage that's going to stick, sort of. But I also have, speed up, offense up, and all that. So like, watch this. That's pretty good damage. And then the Moon Girl ultimate is kind of what seals the deal here, because basically everyone falls over from that. So honestly, I don't know if Odin was overkill here, but I think his special and the buffs that he gave everyone is kind of why this comp just blew up right now. So maybe I'll try this next time without Odin, but it seemed to work pretty well. So that was the end of round 3. I will not have an Nihilus next week, so it'll probably be more losses, but I am going to shake up my defense quite a bit, so we'll see what that gives me for offense and how creative it forces me to get. So yeah, I'll see you next time.